again!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance.
Hi, welcome to Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get the show started. Right, on the show today, skipper Rohit Sharma fat-shamed by a politician, spokesperson of a political party, and that has sparked a massive row. Reactions have come in thick and fast. We show you why this statement is so flawed. Do some of the politicians in the country even understand sport? Former India cricketer Sunil Gavaskar has lashed out against all non-India cricketers, past and present, who have pointed fingers at ICC favouring India regarding the scheduling at the Champions Trophy. What did Gavaskar say, and is there any truth to it? And North Korea is streaming the English Premier League, a huge step for a country that has massive restrictions. But what are some of the bizarre conditions in place for this to even be aired? Stay tuned for more on that. But first, a look at the headlines on Sports 360. Starting with cricket, Rishabh Pant has been nominated for the prestigious Laureus World Sports Award. It is in the Comeback of the Year category. Pant suffered a life-threatening accident back in 2022. The Indian wicketkeeper bat made a remarkable comeback in IPL last year. Pant is only the second cricketer after Sachin Tendulkar to have been nominated for the awards. In the Women's Premier League, the playoff race has intensified after Gujarat registered an 81-run win over UP. Put into bat first, Beth Mooney powered Gujarat to 186. In reply, Kashvi Gautam's 3 wickets bowled UP out for 105. Gujarat has moved to second spot after this win. Moving to football, Manchester United are considering to terminate the lease of their London office. The idea was proposed by owner Jim Ratcliffe for cost cutting. United have a 10-year lease which ends in 2033. 23-time Grand Slam winner Serena Williams has joined the ownership group of WNBA team Toronto Tempo. The Toronto-based women's basketball side will join the league in 2026 as the 14th franchise. Toronto Tempo will become the first WNBA side to be based out of America. And the legislation to ban transgenders from women's sports didn't pass the US Senate. The Democrats united in opposing the bill with a 51-45 division. The bill failed to pass the Senate. India is playing Australia for a spot in the ICC Champions Trophy final, and while the team's focus should be on winning the game and making it to yet another World Cup final, the captain of the side, Rohit Sharma, has been dragged into a controversy that has absolutely no relevance on the match at hand, the team, or even his own performance. The Indian batter has been fat-shamed. And not by his coaches or a fellow cricketer, nope, by a politician. Indian National Congress's spokesperson Shama Mohamed, in a post that she proceeded to, of course, delete hours later, called the Indian captain fat, and she didn't stop there. She questioned Rohit Sharma's captaincy as if the girth had a bearing on that. The timing of the post was quite ironic. It came when India had just outwitted New Zealand in a low-scoring thriller to stay unbeaten in the Champions Trophy group stages. And to just give you perspective to how well India has performed under the fat Rohit Sharma, who shouldn't be in the team at all. Just a little over 6 months ago, India won the T20 World Cup. Over in 2023 too, they reached the final of the ODI World Cup, staying unbeaten till the end. And while the captain may have retired from T20s, he's arguably one of the best in the white ball format, with a win percentage of 74 in both T20 internationals and one-day internationals. Clearly, the team has dominated the world under his leadership, under the stats of an unimpressive captain. Unlike Shama Mohammed's own political party, who seem to be losing in almost every election that they've been contesting. Maybe Shama Mohammed's political party needs such a leader too. So when a statement like that was made by a National Party member, and one who probably doesn't understand or follow the sport all too well, cricket fans didn't take it too kindly. politician's post sparked a nationwide uproar, especially as Shama touched one of the most sensitive topics in the country, cricket. Her own political party, Congress, asked her to retract her statement. She promptly obliged by deleting the post. The politician, though, didn't backtrack from the original statement that she'd made.
Just a generic tweet about a fitness of a sports person. It is not body shaming. It's about the fitness of a sports person. I always believe a sports person has to be fit. So I felt he's a bit overweight and I just tweeted on that. And I've been attacked for no reason, you know. And when I compared him to the other captains, previous captains like Dhoni, or for that matter, Ganguly, Dravid, Tendulkar, Kapil Dev. So I put in and Virat. I put in a statement because I found him, I have the right, it's a democracy.
Nobody except one All India Trinamool Congress MP backed Shama over her point of view.
रोहित शर्मा के बारे में जो बोला है मैं तो सहमत हूँ. मैं ये कोई पॉलिटिशियन नहीं, एक क्रिकेट दर्शक के बारे में बोले. कितने दिन तक रोहित शर्मा को छूट दिया जाएगा? एक बार एक तो सेंचुरी किया कई 2 साल में और 2, 5, 10, 20 में आउट हो जाते हैं. उसको ना टीम में जगह मिलना चाहिए ना अधिनायक रहना चाहिए.
All of this, of course, opened the floodgates, making every prominent voice across political leadership to the cricketing world chime in to support Rohit Sharma as a top captain and cricketer. The politician questioned the fitness of Rohit Sharma by just remarking on his physical appearance, clearly unaware about the criteria of fitness in a sport like cricket. The Indian team is known to maintain the highest fitness standards in the world of cricket. They have designed the yo-yo tests for players to declare them eligible for selection for any series. It's a test that determines an athlete's ability to perform repeated high-intensity exercises. Players are supposed to run 20-meter shuttles at increasing speeds. This is how they prove their endurance and fitness levels in the sport. Clearly, Sharma is unaware of the fitness standards that's required in cricket today. And if you just look at the sheer numbers that Rohit comes with, his 11,000 runs is he's the fourth Indian in the list of most runs in one-day internationals. With over 4,000 runs in T20s, Rohit is the leading run getter in this format. He has 3 double hundreds to his name in ODIs and the highest individual score of 264 in this format too. And while Shama fat-shamed Rohit, maybe she hasn't seen bulkier cricketers who've outperformed supposedly fitter athletes, from Inzamam ul Haq to Arjuna Ranatunga, Jacques Kallis at one time, or even Kieran Pollard. One, arguably the greatest all-rounder international cricket has ever seen, and 3 of the others World Cup winners across different formats, much like Rohit Sharma. No one, even today, can hit a more beautiful, sharp-struck 6 than the Indian captain himself. The fitness of an athlete, a cricketer in particular, does not define their abilities or their credibility as a cricketer. Take the toast of the nation currently, Varun Chakravarti. He dropped a catch during the game against New Zealand. He went on to win India the match with his primary skill, his bowling. Pulled India out of certain defeat and proved to be a match winner. The reason he is in the playing 11 today. That's how cricket works. The shape, the size, the level of agility or the lack of it doesn't determine how good a cricketer he or she is. Many who watched the 2007 Cricket World Cup would remember this moment. That catch put Bermuda on the Cricket World Cup. That man there is Dwayne Leverock. Overweight, yes, and you can just say that with certainty. And he took a flyer, a blinder of a catch to dismiss India's Robin Uthappa at a World Cup. That catch back in 2007 defied every possible stereotype when it came to the concept of fat athletes having no business playing sport. So how can this even be the basis of dismissing an India captain who's led the team from the front for years now and very successfully? Been a match winner. Yes, everyone has a right to their personal opinions, but a politician who certainly has limited knowledge about a sport should quite certainly do some homework before embarking on a ride to fat shame. While sportspersons are supposed to be fit, the concept and definition of fitness itself has evolved and upgraded with time. Why haven't some politicians? I like it when Sunil Gavaskar, Sunny G as he's fondly called by fellow broadcasters now, people part of the crew, the once angry young man who famously stormed off a cricket field, bat in hand, and the opposition Australia stared back in shock, is now the angry, not-so-young broadcaster who lays it on like he sees it. No holds barred, no overthinking or second-guessing. No beating around the bush for Sunil Gavaskar. The fiery commentator has once again fired around. The targets this time, of course, are the English commentators, and again, legends of the game and legends behind the mics too, Nasser Hussain and Michael Atherton. So what exactly has been the cause of retaliation? Why them questioning India getting a slight advantage in this Champions Trophy, of course, regarding playing all matches in the same venue, Dubai?
They're playing at just one venue. Therefore, the selection, can focus in on the conditions in Dubai. That seems to me to be an undeniable advantage. Other teams will have to pick playing 11s for different conditions, and then they have to travel and adjust to those conditions. They sit happily and comfortably there. They know they're going to play 6 games there, and if they will win all those, they will win another global tournament.
To be fair, it has not only been them. Several cricketers, current and former, have raised questions and eyebrows over India getting preferential treatment in this tournament. Here's a sneak peek of some of it. Now, we won't get into the why of this, we already have, but we will show you what Indian skipper Rohit Sharma's response was when asked about the unfair advantage that his team has. This was, of course, at a press conference just before the semi-final against Australia.
The 3 matches we played, the nature of the surface was the same, but in all 3 games, the pitch has behaved differently. We don't know which pitch is going to be played in the semi-final. This is Dubai, this is not our home. So, we don't play so many matches here. This is new for us too.
A very logical and measured response, but let's jump straight into what Sunny G had to say in reply to this while speaking to a media outlet.
I think these are all wise and experienced people. Why don't you actually look at why your team has not qualified? Rather than constantly focusing on India, are you even looking at your own backyard? Your players are in such a fragile mind state. They don't seem to care about results.
That was a direct response to the critiques made by English players and commentators. England crashed out of the ICC Champions Trophy without winning a single match. They refused warm-up games in the lead-up to their opener in the Champions Trophy. They said they had the practice of playing in the subcontinent as they had already played India prior to this. Again, their dismal journey is well documented, so we won't get into the details here. Sunil Gavaskar, of course, took this a step further.
India's contribution to global cricket through television rights and media revenue plays a massive role. They need to understand that their salaries also come from what India brings to the world of cricket.
Trust the man to take out his whip and lash it out for all to hear. The retort may have come post one remark objecting to this skewed scheduling, but what Gavaskar said was for all to hear. Let's break that down for you. When we speak of revenue, engagement, fan presence, talent, India sits on the forefront of it all. ICC events are a success on the back of India's presence and how far this team goes in the tournament. Because the percentage of engagement, whether it's through fans, sponsors, spectators at the stadiums, is mostly coming from India. Thanks to, of course, the population and, of course, the stardom that some of the cricketers have here and the markets that are interested in investing in Indian cricket. It's significantly higher. The level of commercialization that cricket has generated is driven by the mechanism in the country, in India. And that in turn contributes to the growth and success of the sport globally. Let's also look at the amount of cricket that India plays in the shorter format compared to some of the other big teams. Of course, top teams who've played most of the cricket since 2023. Australia sits at the bottom of the top 6 here. Then comes South Africa, of course, with around 70 matches played. England coming in with slightly a couple of games more. Pakistan rounds off the top 3 there with a little more than England. New Zealand slipping in there very quickly as number 2, and of course top of the table there as most games played. Close to 100 is India, 54 T20 internationals and 44. That's the number of matches that India plays here. Plays more white ball cricket than their competitors. They travel more, and that means more commentators being engaged for the bilaterals that involve India. Let's look at the IPL, the Indian Premier League. The Premier T20 tournament is the biggest cricket league the world over in terms of popularity, revenue generation, sponsor deals, broadcasting rights, and that's a window almost every commentator the world over comes to be a part of. It's lucrative and generates more jobs for cricketers all over the world, present and former. So maybe all that Sunil Gavaskar is trying to say is focus on the big picture here, like Australia did when the 2023 ODI World Cup final took place. They were playing India in Ahmedabad and had lost the toss. The conditions were not easy, and yet they managed to hold their nerves to beat India to lift the World Cup in their own backyard, in India's backyard. Focus on the cricket and providing the best possible quality of a contest. It's the Champions Trophy after all. North Korea is isolated from a majority of the world, but there seems to be a connection that might make them more inclusive. It's their shared passion for a global sport, football. Now, the otherwise censored North Korean media has opened its doors to foreign content, namely the English Premier League. But just like the other televised content in the country, this airs with conditions applied. The decision to air this doesn't come as a surprise entirely. This is one sport that has been celebrated across the nation. They were the first Asian team to progress to the knockouts in World Cups back in 1966. They were the early trendsetters in Asian landscape of football. So an international football broadcast was long overdue. But here's the catch. The fans may be able to watch the Premier League on their television sets, but with certain riders in place. Just like the late arrival of the league in the country, fans would only be able to consume the matches much later than when they actually take place. Korean Central Television, or the KCT, started broadcasting the current season on January 13, a season that started in August last year. But for North Korea, the league only started 5 months later. Quite the Internet Explorer moment, I must say. So by that timeline, for North Korea, the American elections haven't taken place yet. Joe Biden is still the president of the United States of America, and it will take some time for the North Koreans to realize Donald Trump has returned to power. But jokes aside, and coming back to the Football League, and the reason why there is such a delayed broadcasting is because the matches aren't streamed live. The otherwise 90-minute long matches will be reduced and cut down to just 60. Screen graphics in English are now overlaid, of course, in their local language. Other logos present on the videos are blurred, probably to conceal the name of the original overseas broadcaster, even masking the pitch-side advertisements that come along with it, and no display of LGBTQ messages allowed either. I'm pretty sure that doesn't take 5 months of editing though, but a minute error and the broadcaster might face the wrath of the leader. So maybe the multiple checks are taking time there. What's worse is that the season finales aren't screened. In simpler words, for people in North Korea, Manchester City aren't the defending champions. It's good if you are a Manchester United, Liverpool or Arsenal fan in North Korea though. They wouldn't have to watch Pep Guardiola lift another trophy. And it isn't just the season finale. Matches of any team that have South Korean players aren't telecasted either. So Tottenham Hotspurs, who are led by Song Heung-min, won't be seen at all. The intense political tensions between the two neighboring countries has ensured of that. And while the strict measures may seem bizarre to the outside world, some of this has probably got to do with copyright issues. North Korea does not have the rights to broadcast Premier League fixtures. So them actually doing these matches itself is a bit of a surprise. But here's the bigger picture. A nation that is prevented from watching any international content or even any sort of entertainment, getting the access of Premier League is massive, because this is a country with immense young talent in the sport. Just last year, they won the Women's Under-20 World Cup, a record third time in their history. But despite the immense feat, the country hardly took notice of it. What this wacky yet ingenuous broadcast could do is reignite that passion among fans. It'll give them content other than the ones directed to run by the government, sure. This is their moment to see international football and stars perform. Even if it is a version that has massive edits and jump cuts, that might miss a pass and suddenly show you a foul or a goal. But still, a medium to break some of the shackles that is deep-rooted, something that might ignite a lost flame of a sport in this country. Time for Last Serve. The Freeride World Tour returned to Georgia with a bang. From massive backflips in snowboarding to breathtaking tricks in skiing. Watch the participants put up quite a show. That wraps it up here on Firstpost. I'll of course see you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care. Bye-bye.
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat Kelogan, Komeri Namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically in a month, we have viewers up to 150 million. That's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years, we had 3 billion viewers. So I say, Lohon, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs, and that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model, and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.